Indra Nui. Every Indian woman must have heard of her. Everyone must have heard of her, but why I am taking the name of Indian women or Indian girls is that जब भी हम स्कूल में होते हैं, कॉलेज में होते हैं, we are told about inspiring women, inspiring female leaders who have led companies, who have done something, who have revolutionized the world. Indra Nooyi is one of those names which always pop us, which always inspire us, which has always been an inspiration for all the girls. In a world dominated by male CEOs, she has been the ray of light that we women can also do something, we can also become something, we also have that power to lead the company to great heights. I mean, for me, she has always been one of those people I always look up to, I always admire. So when I started reading books and when I started seeing that other people's recommendations are available online, because when you are not doing that, even on internet everything is practically available, but you kind of don't think that these kind of things will be available online. But when I got to know, when I saw that so many other people's lists were available, like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, etc., I thought maybe her list would be available as well. And since I have always admired her, I just couldn't control myself for googling that list, and lucky for me it was available. I found it. तो इस वीडियो में हम वही करेंगे जो मुझे ऑनलाइन उनकी लिस्ट मिली है, बुक्स की जो वो पढ़ती हैं और दूसरों को रिकमेंड करती हैं. हम उन्हीं के बारे में बात करेंगे. We'll see which those books are, what kind of books they are, and just a little brief about them. So you also get an idea about what kind of books they are and whether or not those are up your alley, whether or not you should pick them up. So yeah, that's what we are going to do in this video, and let's get started. Before we move forward, it's again time for a random shout out. So thank you Neeraj, Akash and Yogesh. Thank you so much guys. Thank you so much for all the support and for backing me up. I am so thankful to you all. So just thank you so much. Okay guys, so first book on our list is Being Mortal. It's a wake-up call to embrace our mortality and to start talking about it instead of just, like when we are dreaming, when we are running after things, whether, in whatever field we are doing, in that red race, we kind of forget that, and we kind of run in a world where we think that there is no end. The author argues that sometimes it's essential to talk about these sensitive topics like mortality and death. So it's a non-fiction book, and by the sound of it, it looks like a very, like a very sensitive and moving and deep book. I'm not sure if I'm going to read it because, these subjects are just a little hard to look directly into the face or talk about them. So yeah, but if you want to gain a perspective, or if you want to think about it, or if you just want to hear out what the author has to say, also this is a very famous book, so the author must have raised some very interesting and insightful and good points. So yeah, if you want to read something like that, then you can pick this one up. Next book that she recommends is Your Happiness Was Hacked. I think from the cover it's pretty evident what the book is about. The negative and increasing intelligence of these mobile phones, technology, social media and gadgets in our lives, and how they have carved out such a big place in all of our daily lives. This goes with everything. अगर हम कोई भी चीज़ लिमिट में यूज़ करते हैं, so it's good. But if you start using anything too much, चाहे वो कितनी ही useful क्यों ना हो, it start harming us. So basically, we are a generation of tech addicts. I think this is something that all of you would agree with me. Author in this book has argued how we can get rid of this addiction, how should we approach this thing, how should we blend it into our lives, because once you have started using the technology, leaving it completely or disowning it completely, that's not an option. This one looks like an interesting read. If you are thinking of something like this, technology, its effects, its harmful effects, its good effect, how to control your addiction and all those things, maybe you can pick this one up. Next book that she recommends is The Road to Character. तो इस बुक में ऑथर ने आर्ग्यू किया है कि हमें यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में, स्कूल्स में, कॉलेजेस में हर जगह यही समझाया जाता है कि वी शुड फोकस ऑन आवर सेल्फ, व्हाट वी वांट इन लाइफ, हाउ टू अचीव आवर गोल्स. जो लोग बहुत ज़्यादा गोल ओरिएंटेड होते हैं, सिर्फ अपने काम पे ध्यान देते हैं, उन्हें अप्रिशिएट किया जाता है. इन सब से ये होता है कि वी ओनली स्टार्ट थिंकिंग अबाउट हिमसेल्फ, एंड आवर मी और आवर आई इंक्रीज सो मच दैट वी डू नॉट थिंक अबाउट एनीथिंग एल्स अदर देन अस एंड आवर गोल्स एंड व्हाट वी वांट टू अचीव, एंड जस्ट वी we are just about ourselves basically. So this me, this I, ये किस तरीके से this is harming or eroding our inner peace, our inner happiness, and how this is stopping us from creating meaningful relationships, meaningful bonds with other people. All this has been argued, all this has been illustrated in this book. So yeah, means by the sound of it, it does look like a mind-opening book. Also, this is a really great book. I have heard from other people who have read this book that it's one of the great non-fiction book. It was on New York Times bestseller for the longest. So yeah, if you are thinking of picking up a book like this, non-fiction book which will open your mind to new things and which will give you perspective, so you can pick this one up. Next book she recommends is Unfinished Business. We kind of tell girls today that they can have it all, but that is still far from truth. So author in this book, she argues, she demonstrates how this thing that equality in workplace or home place, it's still a far reality, and how we can make place more inclusive for women. But this book is not all serious. It's a very warm and interesting and funny book with a lot of anecdotes, and she tries to paint a very practical picture of the world that we are living in today. And this book, you might not completely agree with this book, but it will give you something to think about. It will ignite all those conversations, those debates. I think women are really going to like this book, and I really think men should also pick this one up. You don't have to agree with it. I have not read it myself, so I'm not saying that the book is good or what the point have been said in this book are good, but it's good to read about stuff and see what the other person has to say. You don't have to agree with it. You can just listen to it. You can give your counter argument, and that's how you lead a conversation. That's how you can lead a healthy debate. So yeah, pick this one up. Next book she recommends is The Silos Effect. तो जो silos होते हैं वो containers होते हैं to store something, to store a material, and organizations में भी अगर आपने देखा होगा, so these silos are created, this department is doing this, or there's a lot of integration, a lot of division across department, especially for large organizations. So the author of this book, she has taken the example of 8 different companies, and studying them, she has argued how because of the silos we are sometimes blind to something that is totally obvious, or that from the hindsight we might look back at it and we are like, how could we not see it? She calls for a more integrated organization, and she puts forward this unorthodox argument of hers. So if you are interested in business, if you want to see what she has to say and how silos can affect the company positively or negatively, then yeah, you can pick this one up. So guys, these were the books that she recommends. Awesome, super awesome list. All the books were great. None of it was like just an okayish book. Everyone was very insightful, very meaningful, which will give you perspective. Usually I pick up one book that I would choose out of these, but I just can't. I can't do that. It means I tried. I really did. I thought I went over the list, but I just cannot make up my mind. So yeah, I'll just pick up all of her books maybe. Let's see. But yeah, I would love to know yours. Which one did you like the most? What are your thoughts on this? Yeah, let me know. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being here, and thank you so much. Bye bye guys.